winners create the necessary conditions in their mind in order for them to win. Let's go.
Hi, thank you guys for tuning in to MindQwezt TV, where substance and content matters. I'm your host, Sherrod, and today we have a special guest. This young lady is a good friend of mine. She is definitely someone I can plug into for some inspiration and encouragement to keep pushing through. This powerful woman has her own company, Dynamic Mom Enterprises, multi-talented, and if you ask me, she is definitely a perfect example of the mompreneur, Miss Salimah Abdullah-King.
Wow, I'm wonderful. Thank you so much. I'm so honored to be here on MindQwezt TV. Thank you so much for having me.
Okay, well, who is Salimah?
Ooh, wow. Well, I'm from New York City, from Harlem.
Okay.
Spanish Harlem, to be exact. And I think I was born a creative spirit. That's really who Salimah is. I think I was born to be a wife and a mother.
Wow.
And I was definitely born to be a mompreneur.
So how long you been down here in Atlanta?
My husband and I relocated the family in 2006.
Okay.
We came down, and so we've been here since then. Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
Well, I know that you're happily married.
Yes.
I heard you guys were high school sweethearts.
Yes.
How long you guys been married?
Oh, my goodness, 30.5 years.
Wow. That's awesome. Well, I know a lot of young women out there, old and young, want to know what's the secret. How did you guys last that long to get to this point right now?
Get to this point. Wow. People ask me that all the time. You know, I don't know if there really is a secret. I know that it's work. That's what I know. And you need to be willing and able and ready to do the work. Communication definitely is key. You need to both have a shared goal. Okay. You know, and several goals, but one really shared goal. My husband and I, you know, our family is our goal. And the success of our family, being that example of a successful family, that's really what keeps us going. And of course, I mean the love. Sometimes, as people say, the love is not enough sometimes, and that's when you have to dig deep into the other reasons why you are together. Why you are together. Yeah.
And also, may I add, you not only are you a wife, but you're a mom of 2 kids.
Yes. Yes.
Tell us about you have a son and a daughter.
And a daughter, yes. Well, our daughter, Nakia Amira, she is 26. She'll be 27 soon. Yeah, dynamic young woman. Wow. She was born a singer.
Wow.
Yeah. She was singing right after she started talking. I mean, on key too. So they're both very creative, very creative. Hassan was born a martial artist. Yeah, when I was pregnant with him, he was even kicking.
That's amazing.
Yeah, and tumbling, you know, in my belly. And so definitely they're both here making their marks on the world. My daughter is running a major financial institution now. Yeah. She's modeled. They've both traveled abroad. Okay. Hassan is teaching martial arts. He's a national champion as well, and team coach. He teaches right out here in Douglasville, champion karate and fitness. Born leaders, both of them. Yes.
So tell us a little bit about Dynamic Mom Enterprises. What was your overall purpose for creating Dynamic Mom Enterprises?
Well, at the time, actually, I had finished. I went back to school after I had my children because I actually left college. I was at City College in New York, and I left to get married after my sophomore year. Okay. Yeah, so I had to kind of pick my mom off the floor. But I promised her that I would go back, and I did, with 2 young children and a husband to take care of and a home, and I went back in a big way. You know, wow, I was 4.3. GPA, yes.
That's amazing.
I did. And I realized that while I was raising our children, I also started homeschooling around that time. So I was homeschooling, a homemaker. I had started my first little beauty business, home-based business. So, and then taking care of my husband and my family. It's like, there's so many, this is like a little enterprise that I have going on around here, you know, and I said, it really takes a dynamic mom to do these kind of things. This is a lot of work. And so, bling, Dynamic Mom Enterprises.
Wow. So
that's where it came
Dynamic Mom
from.
Enterprises is definitely, would it be safe to say that the purpose is to help women build that foundation and understand the process of being a mom and being a wife at home?
Absolutely. And being proud of it. You know, over the years, I found that it's like, you know, you got to keep it a secret that you're happy about being a homemaker, you know, and a wife. And, you know, women we have so many choices now as women today that we can do any type of, you know, occupation or job. And the one that really, really matters, you know, we don't get a lot of accolades for, number one. And so people kind of want to keep that tucked away. And yes, I'm a mother, but I do this, you know. And I've met so many women that said, well, I'm just a mom. Yeah, I just raise my kids. You just raise your kids?
And that's very
This
important.
is the biggest job we will ever do, ever, as women. Being mothers. And so Dynamic Mom Enterprises really is about empowering women in their feminine spirit, helping women to transform their lives by empowering their feminine spirit.
Wow, that's great. So I know that you have network marketing experience.
Absolutely.
How long have you been in the industry?
Ooh, almost 20 years.
Wow.
Almost 20 years. I have learned so much. I would not trade not 1 minute of my experience in network marketing.
So is it safe to say that as far as the pros and cons, you experience more more positive experience opposed to negative experience?
Absolutely. And you know, there's good and bad with everything, but I have grown in my personal development, the development of myself. Wow, tenfold. And network marketing has introduced me to so many wonderful authors, books, concepts, ideologies, all types of ways to empower ourselves, you know, as individuals. And then I also, my children grew up as in network marketing. They're network marketing babies. You know, all of the leadership tapes, leadership materials that I had in my you know, previous companies, they were exposed to all of that. And so, you know, we used to have Walkmen back then. That was a long time ago, Walkmen. And so we had cassettes also. And so I would put the cassette in their Walkman. And as we're, you know, traveling around the city on buses and subways and everything, they would have their personal development, just feeding their mind, feeding their spirit, even when they went to sleep.
So do you say, would you say that just going through that process shape them and mold them to the young kids they are today?
Absolutely. And they have the entrepreneurial spirit, both of them, definitely. But to be empowered, you know, for young people today, it's just so important. And when I see my children, I'm seeing really the fruits, you know, of all of that work that came in, and network marketing was such a big part of all of that.
And you and your husband did a great job.
Thank you.
Also, I want to ask you, so I know that you're multi-talented. You're also an author and a poet. Let's talk about this belly dance. You're a belly dancer.
Yes,
how did you get into that? What made you go into that field? What inspired you to get into that?
Well, you know, I've been dancing all my life. My mother got me started dancing, taking my first classical classes when I was about 8.
Okay.
8, 9 years old, and ballet and jazz, modern, African, all of that. But as an adult, well, and I have to say, I have trained and studied with the best that the dance world has to offer. I'm just so honored to have been able to do that. But as an adult, belly dance was actually just brought to me at a time in my life when I needed it. You know, every marriage experiences ups and downs and, you know, challenges, and we were in one of those times, and I just wasn't feeling like at my optimum best self. You know, I wasn't feeling very pretty. I wasn't feeling, you know, it was just all of that. And my children were involved in Hassan was taking karate, and Nakia was doing modeling, and it was in the same community building.
Okay.
And so there was also a class, belly dance. Yeah, yeah. And I would hear the music. I'm waiting for them, you know, and I would hear this beautiful music coming from the other room. And one day I said, you know what, I'm just going to go and let me see what these ladies are doing. And I fell in love. I watched for about a week before I even joined the class.
Okay.
But once I started dancing, that was it. And my instructor, my mentor, Janice Tillery, we're friends to this day. I will always love her for giving me that, giving me belly dance. And I share that with women today to help to empower them. You know, I do belly dance parties.
Wow.
Yeah, yeah. I just did one when women are, you know, having birthdays or something. They want to do something special for a sister friend. You know, we have belly dance parties.
Okay.
You
so
know?
would you say that that's very important for women to kind of get into belly dancing, whether it's one day out of the week, would it help them get in touch with their inner self?
Yes, with their feminine spirit, definitely, definitely. And I always tell my students, my ladies, you have to have a belly to belly dance. They love that one.
So
yeah.